Hi everyone, welcome to this information session about Flex Income Plan. So I'm here today with Annie Klopp, so the Compensation and Benefits Manager. We will try to keep it short so you can eat your lunch for sure. And so I propose you to begin now. So we will first explain you what's the Flex Income Plan, what's the timeline foreseen for this, then how to create a budget, how to spend it. We will ask you to keep your question for the end of the session so we don't waste too much time. And of course, if anyone's doesn't know something or doesn't understand, it's free to come to HR so we can give more information about this. So what's the Flex Income Plan? It's actually a tool which will enable you to create a budget and to spend it on other benefits that you currently have. So should you, for example, wish to have a smaller car, you could take that budget and spend it on other things. So we will come to it after. So you will first create a budget, for example, with your company car budget, your extra legal holidays, and your 30th month. So the end year bonus. It will be converted automatically in the tool, so the flex income plan tool, so developed by SDWorks, and then you will be able to spend it on several benefits. So it's really easy. You will see the tool next week with my data. So we will test some scenarios which might be in place in the Fujitsu population. Why Fujitsu decide to do that? Because we are aware that the needs are different depending on your personal situation, and we want to offer you the possibility to customize your benefits in order to most with your needs. So, or as I said previously, all your current legal advantages will be converted in the tool in the budget, and then you spend it through the tool. So this tool will be automatically added to your SDWorks portal, so where you can find currently your all your payslips and where you ask for your holiday. So it will be the same access. So don't worry, it won't be complicated at all. The main message here it has to be cost neutral for you and for Fujitsu. So please bear that in mind. The FIP aim is not to provide you with a bigger net, but it could be a consequence of your choices. Here we have some scenarios. So for example, if Elise, who is 34 years old, has two young children and lives in the countryside, she needs her 30th month. So she decided not to change it. She decided to have a smaller car because she is alone with two children and she doesn't need a bigger car. And she decides as well with this budget, because she chose a smaller car, to have more holidays. That will be totally possible within the Flex Income Plan. Second case, Benoit, 24 years old, single, fresh graduate. He doesn't have a company car, but he doesn't need his 30th month. So he will trade 30th month in order to have a benefit car. So here, a good news is that for people who are not eligible for a company car, may now benefit of a benefit car. The main difference here is that the benefit car won't have a fuel card, but we will come to it afterwards. And the third scenario would be Roger, 52 years old, married, two teenagers, and lives in the countryside, needs some time off. So he will decide to have some time off. He will decide to have a bigger car if he wants, and he will just reduce his 30th month. Here we must say that it's the first version of the tool. So please be aware that we might add other benefits next year. If we see that the system is well, we will do it. So the main principle here, you're free to participate or not in the FIP. So should you decide, oh, I'm not really interested this year to participate in this tool, you go on the tool and you just click on, I decide not to participate. If you don't make a choice before the 60th of January, you will be automatically set as do not participate in the tool. Here, it's not a package optimization, it's a choice optimization. It's really important to be aware of that, and it's, as again, because neutral for Fujitsu. So the timeline foreseen for this implementation is, so you will be able to choose your different benefits, new benefits, if I may say, from the 2nd of January to the 15th of January 2018. The moment of the FIP, so the start date foreseen is 1st of January, should you decide to have a different car, etc. Please be aware that if you want another company car, you will have to wait to have your end of lease. But we will put something in place on Friday. It will be called the Wackenburst. So you will be able, if you wish to go to Toyota, but if you're blocked with your BMW leasing, you will be able to put your BMW on the internet portal and ask someone to take it if he's in the end of leasing. So, but it will be more expensive at the end of the week, but it will be a possibility. For the FIP year, so it goes from 1st of January to the 31st of December, not obviously, and then there will be an administration period from the 60th of January to the 25th of January. So, of course, all the choice you will do in the tool, an addendum to your contract will be automatically generated by the system, and from 60th to the 25th, we will need those addendums. You will be able to sign it through EID. So some card readers are available at the reception. And for those who don't want to use EID, you can print the addendum and bring it to HR. So it's up to you, but of course we prefer EID. So the first step of this process is the budget creation. This process is automated in the tool, so you don't decide to sell it. That's something the tool does it automatically. So if you want to keep your advantages, you will have to rebuy it, except for the long-term benefits such as company car. So first step, you convert your advantage to a budget. Those inputs, so automatically generated by the tool, and then you use this budget in the shop, the output, and it's your choice. So this budget is an annual budget. So if you have a company car, for example, and you have, I don't know, 400 euros as leasing budget, you will have an annual cost of 4,800 euro for company car. If you don't have to change your car in 2018, this budget will be blocked. You won't be able to change it because your leasing is still ongoing. If you will be able to change car in 2018, and your leasing goes, for example, until end of February, 2 months of your current leasing cost will be put in the tool, so 800 euro, and the rest of it will be available for your new car. So, and also, for example, for the 30th month, it will be directly, if I may say, sold in the tool. But what Fujitsu does is that we had the employee social security cotization, so 27% of this amount. So, for example, if you decide to trade your 30th month completely and you have 1,000 euro and your bonus, you would have 1,270 euros available in your budget. So for all benefits for which you pay, the employer pays social security cotization, we will add this in your budget available. To create your budget, you have three clusters. The first one is cash, so your 30th month. The second one is mobility for those who have a company car budget. And the third one is a time maximization. So it's actually the extra legal days off. For the first cluster, so the 30th month, a maximum of the totality of the 30th month can be converted in the budget. So as I said previously, the employee social security contribution is also added to this amount. So it might be good. And the 30th month remaining balance is paid in November. It's really important to be aware here that if you decide to trade your 30th month, it won't have any consequence on your group and complementary pension insurances, but it won't be taken into account for the legal pension. So it's really important to know that. So should you have more questions about what is accumulated for the legal pension rights, you can also come to HR. So the second cluster would be extralegal holidays budget. Only extralegal holidays can be traded, so it's really important. The ADV, so the holidays you receive because you work more than 38 hours a week, are not tradable. So we speak only here about kaderverlof, congé cadre, or seniority leaves, etc. So the day of a day off is automatically calculated by the tool, so you don't have to worry, but I put here the formula that's behind it. And you can sell a maximum of 5 extra legal holidays. So it's really important that, for example, for the card of love, you cannot sell the 10 of them. So the budget creation, you also have your company car budget. You will be able to change it only when you're in the FIP year, when you can change your lease. It's really important. It will be possible to change your personal contribution, but it still needs to be confirmed by SD-Works. So should you have pay actually currently personal contribution in net, you would be able to trade it against, for example, a day off or two, depending on your salary, or a part of your 30th month. So it might be beneficial, sorry, for you. So here, what we have done is that we have created our budget, and now we will explain how can we spend it, on what can we spend it. So Fujitsu has some proposals to you, but of course, as I already said, it's the first version, so there is more possibilities that might come next year and the year after. So you have to be aware first that every element has a cost, obviously, and the cost can be different depending if the employer has to pay social contribution on it or not. Each element has its own consequences in the payroll. Should you, for example, decide to have a bigger car, so the benefit in kind will be higher, or should you decide, for example, to have a bag and we will come it after, you might not pay a benefit in kind on it. So it's really important for you to be aware that every element has its own consequences on the payroll, but we will come after it. For each element, we will explain to you what will it imply. The net salary cannot be higher following the employee choices. It's not the tips or flex income plan goal, but it might be a consequences of your choice. So here, which is to really say like it's not the aim of the flex income plan, but it might be a consequence. Some elements are available for a year and some are for a longer period. So should you decide, for example, to sell 3 extra legal days off, it's applicable for 1 year and next year you can decide to change your mind. But some other elements are blocked for several years. Should you, for example, decide to have a benefit car for those who don't have a company car, it will be blocked for 4 years. So it's really important for you to be aware that when you make a choice, it might be for a year or it might be for a longer period. So again, if you take an element for which you don't have to pay social contribution, it won't be assimilated for your pension right. And if you have a remaining balance on your FIP shop, this balance will be paid at the end of the year. So here we have again the same 3 clusters, but with more stuff in it. So the cash won't change, it remains the same. So you can decide to have a lower car budget, for example, to have more cash. The time maximization. So as from now, you will be able to buy 2 additional days off. So good news, and for everyone. And for the mobility, so you can decide to higher or lower your car budget, you can add some public transportation subscriptions, and you will be also able to to rent actually a bike, either shared or either personal. So the first cluster will be mobility, the biggest one for now. So for the company car, as I said, you must finish your contract in the FIP year to be able to change your budget. You can lower it with a minimal value of 300 euro a month, and the maximum limit depends on your current budget. So I invite you to go to the new car policy, which is on the intranet, to find the maximum limit in your case. And the leasing budget goes from 300 to 1,000 euros by slices of 25 euros. So just for a reminder, if you choose a cheaper company car, you will be able to enjoy the difference of price in the shop. So for other benefits. The cost of a company car is obviously the leasing cost minus the personal contribution multiplied by the amount of month. And there is exactly bonus for green cars. Those has been raised by Fujitsu because we try to promote greener cars, hybrid cars, etc. I invite you to go to the car policy as well to be able to find all the details about it. What does it imply on the payroll? Should you choose a bigger or lower car? So the benefit in kind will certainly change. So if you go from, for example, a BMW X3 to a Toyota Yaris, for sure you will pay way less in benefit in kind. So it might be a wise choice if you don't need an X3. And eventually a personal contribution if you choose to still have a personal contribution. But so now we speak about the benefit car, which is different. The benefit car is the company car for people who are not eligible for company car. The main difference between a benefit car and a company car is that the fuel card is not provided because, as we said previously, the system must be cost neutral for the company. So only people who don't have a company car can choose benefit car. So even if you have enough budget and you have a company car, you cannot choose a company car for your wife or your children or whatsoever. It's really important. If you have a company car, you're obliged to have a company car. How to choose if you wish to have a benefit car? You have to go to Martin Charlier and ask us some quotations for the car you would like to have within the Lexus and Toyota brand. If your budget is not high enough in the FIP pool, there is still a possibility to enter a personal contribution, so a net personal contribution at maximum 200 euro a month. The consequences on the payroll and on the budget are the same, except that for the benefit car, in the cost on the budget, we actually take the social abonnement that we pay you each month. So should you come with the car currently, we will actually take the amount we pay you monthly, take the cost of the leasing and minus the social abonnement. So it will cost you less than the leasing cost, sorry. For the payroll, it's the same. So benefit in kind and eventually a personal contribution. So here we advise you obviously to take a small car or hybrid car. So the benefit in kind is lower and also green. This two would be greener, which is good. So now for the bikes, it's open to everyone. More details that we found in the bike policy, which is also on the intranet. So how to choose? If you want to have a bike, it's really important you go as soon as possible to a bike dealer in the list you can find on the bike policy from KBC. So you go to the car dealers, you choose your bike, and then you go to Martin Charlier, and she will give you a quotation from KBC. You can choose any type of bike, it can be electrical, VTT, etc. Let's try, isn't it? And then the cost on the budget will be the cost of the leasing multiplied by the number of months. So should you decide to have a bag on 1st January and you would receive it only in 1st February, we will be able to um, to put that in the system. And for the payroll, so the government is still working on it. So currently, a benefit in kind back is applicable depending on the value of the bike and the percentage you use it for private purposes. But now the government is working about abolish this if you do some journeys work home. So it will be confirmed in a further communication, depending on what the government choose. But if you do at least one trip a year, it will allow you to avoid the benefit in kind. So it might be good for you to choose a bike if, of course, you wish to have one. For public transportation, everyone will be able to upgrade to first class if they wish, and also to subscribe to trade bikes such as Below in Brussels. For those who have a company car, you will be also able to take tram, bus, train, and metro subscription on the top of your company car. For those who don't have a company car, it's normally a possibility that is already given to you. And a public transportation policy is to come. How to choose? On the FIP tool, you will be able to see several providers such as an MBS for which you will have to select the trip you want to book. For example, Brussels, Antwerp, and it will ask you the value of it. So you will need to go to the SNCB tool, but we will come to it next week for the demonstration tool. So, and you will have to buy by yourself your subscription, and then the amount will be claimed by expense note. What is really important here is that travels, work, home journeys are necessary. Otherwise, you will have to pay a benefit in kind on this amount. For the cost on the budget, it's actually the cost of the subscription, and there is no payroll consequences for public transportation. So the second cluster is time maximization. So here, as I said previously, you will be able to buy 2 additional days off, which will be called 2 FIP holidays. It will be prorated if you work in a 80% schedule or whatsoever. You can buy it by full day and take it by half or full day. So you cannot decide to buy, for example, a half day off. It doesn't work. And they must be taken at the latest on the 31st of December of the 5th year. So you won't be able to put it in 2019, for example. The cost in the budget is automated in the process. And also, yeah, the employee social security cotisation is calculated. So you can also sell some days off, as I already mentioned, so maximum 5. And what's really important here, if you decide to participate to the FIP, you will have to buy again 5 days off because they will be automatically sold by the system. So please be aware that you will have 2 fields, one extra legal holidays and one FIP holidays. It's 2 different things. FIP holidays is to buy holidays, so additional holidays, and extra legal holidays field is to basically decide to sell, because if you put 5, you decide not to sell anything, but if you put 1, you decide to sell 4 extra legal holidays. So it's really tricky, I know, but next week we'll come again on it, and for those who will have some doubts, in January we will organize some support sessions with you before you confirm your choices, so we are on the same page and you are a bit reassured, if I may say.
So, Maxim, can I ask a question? Does that mean that everybody who doesn't go into the tool before the 15th of January has lost, between brackets, his 5 days of holidays, has sold his 5 days of holidays?
No, if you don't connect, and if you decide not to make any choice, the current situation will remain. So
it's only when you go and you do something, you should also, and you don't want to sell your 5 days, you should rebuy them.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. here it's exactly what we said. So I automatically sell 5 extra legal days off if applicable. So if you don't have extra legal days off, of course you sell nothing, but you will still have to put 0 in the field. If you want to have 2 more days off, I need to rebuy the 5 extra legal holidays and buy 2 FIP holidays. So we will do some scenarios next week. And of course, if you cannot attend next week, the session will be recorded, so don't worry. And so the third cluster is cash. So should you decide to have a lower budget for the company car, for example, it will allow you to have more cash. You can decide to buy, for example, holidays with it, a bulk, or you can just decide, I don't want to do nothing with it. Just pay me the amount. So here, if the remaining budget is more than 200 euro a year, it will be paid monthly basis. And in other case, it will be paid when we pay the 30th month. So what's really important is, for example, if you have a budget, a remaining budget, should we say 1,000 euro? It's really important that you divide this by 1.27 because on this amount, we pretty soon will have to pay social contribution. So it's not 1,000 euro you will receive, but let me do a quick, I cannot do it, sorry. So actually you will receive less. So it's 1,000 minus 27. So around 60, yeah, 700 euros.
Yeah.
Let's say that. And actually that's it. So we gave you the main features. So as I said, it's not too much elements you can buy. So because it's new for everyone, it's new for HR, it's new for you. So we will learn together. I think it's a good opportunity for people who don't need a super high budget or needs actually a bigger car. It's also possible. So should you want a bigger car, you just trade some 30th month, which is heavy taxed, as I can remember, if I can remind you, sorry. And so yeah, more to come next year, more to come when you will be able to change of company car in the FIP year that is applicable for you. You will be able to see your personal data in the tool as from 2nd of January. So I know it can be difficult for you to apprehend the tool without seeing it. So next week it will be the opportunity to see actually the tool and how it works. You will see it's really intuitive because it tells you in red what to do every time. So it shouldn't be a problem. But as I said previously, Annick, myself, and Bilal will be available in January to answer all your questions. So do you have any questions? So we first sent you a lot of communications. We put frequently asked questions that you can find in your last communication. And you can also refer to your manager or your representative who will transfer the question to the project team. So the representative have been involved in the process and they are really aware of what's happening for the FIP. So do you have any question now? Oh, everything is clear or more or less? I think that everything is clear then, and everybody is hungry.
Tim, one more question. Is it as of when can we start playing with it? Is it the 2nd of January or before?
So you can play with it as from the 2nd of January.
Because with holiday people, summer people, that means that there is only 1 week for the
Yeah, but 2 weeks. But why? Because there is an indexation foreseen in January, and so some data, salary data, etc., will change. So that's why, and also SD Works actually to open it only 2 weeks. So, and of course we have managed something for people who are sick for a long period, etc. We will open them the opportunity to open the shop when they come back, but that's another topic. So we really that's why we communicate so early. So everyone is aware that it will be open from the 2nd of January to the 15th of January.
15th,
Yeah.
yes. So, Maxime, this is Quentin. Hi. Listen, I don't have any specific questions at this stage. I just want to sort of thank the HR department and everyone who's been involved in this initiative because it does provide an additional degree of flexibility to the employees, and I think it's good thinking and it's been done in a proactive fashion. So, thank you for that, and I guess we'll work through the details together.
Yeah, sure.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Quentin.
Quentin.
Pleasure.
And of course, tomorrow you don't have to follow the information session because you already followed this one. So, but if you want to listen to Annick and my voice, it's okay. I wish you a bon appétit and see you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
C'est quoi